Don't forget to go to ashkicking.com for pound the best home health and beauty fragrance products.
Hi, you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation. Woo!
Yes, sir. Let me dig into
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So I'm here watching these fights on free TV right now, on ESPN, I should say, rather. And got to give credit when credit is due. Credit to Bob Arum for making this deal. I mean, to put a star like Manny Pacquiao on free TV, that's pretty damn big. That is pretty big right there. So credit to Top Rank for putting that together. And I'm getting ready for the main event right now, but I just got done watching Michael Conlan. He got a third round knockout. He didn't look too impressive. Teddy Atlas was there watching, or calling the fight, I should say. Tim Bradley, he was there calling the fight. They weren't too impressed. You know, Bob Arum said a while ago he wants to basically match Shakur Stevenson against Michael Conlan, of course, once they become bigger stars. And no doubt about it, that would be a big fight if Conlan can remain undefeated, if Shakur Stevenson can remain undefeated. It's a classic matchup, boxer versus banger. But from what I just watched, Bob Arum is gonna have to be really careful with matching up Michael Conlan if he wants to match them up together in the future. You know, this is one thing I like about watching a fight like this, because, you know, when you see someone, a special prospect like Errol Spence, for example, before, you know, he did what a lot of us who knew boxing already expected him to do, which was beat someone like a Kell Brook. And you heard all these boxers and trainers that were praising Errol Spence way more than they praised any other prospect. Even when Errol Spence only had like 6 or 8 fights, just like people did with Floyd Mayweather, before social media was as big as it is today. This is how professional boxers and trainers were praising Errol Spence. And you, every once in a while, you would have a decaf that would say something like, hey, well, he hasn't fought anyone. He hasn't fought anyone, so we really don't know how good he is. But no, that's not true, because it's not always who you beat, but how you beat them. It's not always just if you get the knockout, but how do you get the knockout? And if you really, really know boxing, then you should be able to tell how good a fighter is before he steps up in competition, before the whole world already knows. You can't say, oh, I knew he was good, if you waited until it was obvious, right? So the reason why I'm bringing this up is because when you look at a fighter like Michael Conlan and the opponent that he was facing tonight or today, now this opponent, his very last fight, he had a draw with a guy who had a record of 2 wins and 14 losses. Now, it's nothing wrong with Michael facing a guy like that, but it's all about how you dispose of a person like that, how you get the job done. And it doesn't always necessarily mean how quick you knock them out, but are you setting up the knockout the proper way? Are you taking advantage of every single opening? Are you clearly showing how many levels you are above this opponent? Are you making it look extremely easy because of this guy's limited experience or because of his terrible record that he has, whatever the case may be, right? And I don't believe Michael Conlan did that. I mean, if you take, let's take junior middleweight prospect, one of the best prospects out right now, which is Money Powell IV, undefeated prospect, just turned pro. Now, he's facing the same type of opposition and opponents that Michael Conlan is facing right now. But he looks explosive every second of every round. And he's getting these guys out of there early. Now, I don't expect that to always happen, but it's how you get the job done is the point that I'm making. So I think Michael Conlan, he has a lot to learn as a pro. He doesn't really set too many punches up. He doesn't really go to the body that much. As soon as he did go to the body, he ended up hurting this guy. He was really trying to land big shots from a distance. He wasn't really setting anything up. So, you know, he has a lot of things to learn. We'll see. You know, Michael Conlan, he said that he actually does better when he faces better competition. Some fighters are like that. But a lot of times, you know, you get to gauge how good a fighter is usually depending on the opposition, even if it's weak opposition. Because I've seen so many boxing prospects, even prospects that went to the Olympics, where they were facing soft opposition and they started to struggle. Now, the majority of fighters that I've seen struggle a little bit against lesser opposition, they didn't just magically improve and look even better against tougher opposition. Usually, if they struggle against weak opposition, they struggle against even better opposition. So we'll see. We'll see what happens in the future with Michael Conlan and Shakur Stevenson. That's pretty much all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one.